Hi, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about the new Eulogy project, the Animal Mother EP, over here on the Headspace podcast, the show where we break down the new hip hop projects track by track, giving thoughts and opinions on every single song. My name is Holden Stephan Roy, and the type of album I like to talk about is something like Mr. Eulogy's Animal Mother EP. It's a little 3-track, a little threefer for us to get through today. And before we do, I just want to let y'all know that I happen to make music myself, so you can check that out. Links in description. Follow me on Spotify. Show some love. Let me know what you think. And also, if you do support what we do, you like this track by track format, you want to see some people get reviewed, you can check out our Patreon and show some love like that. In the meantime, I love to start off all the episodes kind of describing my familiarity with each artist, letting you know a little bit why did we choose to go ahead and make this review happen. So in this case, it's because I was sitting there on Instagram one day and I had done the Archaic album review, which you can check out if you'd like on this very channel. I was kind of excited because, you know, it was something like kind of close to home. I'm up in Montreal. These fine fellas is up in Ontario. That's a province away. And let's be a little bit real here. If you want to thrive in this hip-hop game, one must do what they call the networking, where you go ahead and you make friends. And, well, maybe I'm doing all right in Montreal. I got some friends happening in Montreal. I would also like to have some friends in places like Ontario, the province over there that's, you know, just as populated as the province I live in. And, you know, look towards setting up multiple location tours across the country in the future. And in order to do that, you need friends. So when Mr. Eulogy hit me up, I, in the spirit of building friendships, decided to check out his stuff. And then I said, yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. And I said, all right, let's do this review. And if all goes well, a little spoilers, we should have an interview coming with the man himself. So if you have any questions, you want to ask him something, let us know in the comments of this video, and I'll make sure that gets incorporated up into that. Other than that, I know virtually nothing about the man, except that he hit me up. He said he watched my other review. It was cool. He wanted to see my thoughts on his project, which is cool. If you stroke my ego a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, it's a good way to get me to do some stuff like an album review. It's like, oh, you care what I have to think? But I don't know, I liked it. There was like this artisticness to him. I mean, I don't want to waste too much time going on about how little I know about dude. We're gonna rectify that with the interview as we get more acquainted and stuff. But dude's been mad supportive. He's one of those guys who, at least on like a personal level, like, look, I'm not gonna never negatively say names about my bad experiences. I don't want to be that dude. But, like, I've talked to people, maybe even had them come through for an interview, and maybe they don't even bother to give a little clicky poo on one of my tracks. Now, I'm not in this to, like, get self-love. It's not really about me. But if you're willing to, like, come on through and make it all about you and it's okay then, and at the end of the day you can't even give a little clicksy poo, that's a little, like, it says something about your character. Whereas this dude is freaking offering, before this is even done or happened, to like, what can I share of yours? I'm like, hold your horses, buddy. Let's share your stuff first and talk about that in the future. But right to me, it showed this ethic that I really admired, right? Like a professionalism. It just like a respect that I'm doing something cool here, in my opinion. Maybe you think it's lame, that's your opinion. But that just made me like the guy more. So all I'm going to say is, whatever you think about whatever, I appreciate the fact that he had that like professional and proper way of at least approaching me in a noticeable positive experience. And I don't know, I don't have a lot more to say about him. That's like the whole experience I have. He's been overly professional and cool to deal with, so that's what you should expect, I suppose, going into him. He's got his peeps. It says in his YouTube descriptions, because he's got like a music video for each of these tracks. I'm going to link them all down below rather than the Spotify link or whatever, because that's what I got. And I think part of the experience is you should watch the videos, because dude has a bit of a personality. I'm not like the best at describing it, but I do have to give him props on the production quality that went into the video. I say that because of like the level we're at, right? Like when I look at the view counts and the number of likes and stuff, not to give any disses, maybe locally, man's a legend with like fucking sold out crowds and shit. But on the internet, you look at something like I have his first track, 570 views. You don't expect necessarily the quality level that you're getting on this, is all I'm trying to say. So I have big respect for what I saw there. Anyway, it looks like he's got a little unit of people he's rolling with. It says something of otherwise known. OK is the YouTube channel. So when you click subscribe to that OK, the otherwise known, and help them become super otherwise known. I don't know. I like the name, right? Because it's not something you hear a lot, like otherwise known. You know, there's otherwise known as whatever. I don't know where I'm going with it. I just like the way it sounds. I just think it comes off cool, and I like the fact that it abbreviates to OK. Like everything's just OK. It's such a simple but pleasing two-letter combination. I don't know if you were expecting me to ramble on about OK, the letters, but that's what you get sometimes. Let's move into the album cover, because I actually think it is really pretty. I have it open here, and I think it's cool. It's got like this hyena or animals, leopards, something, some big cat, and it's just eating some prey. And it's pretty animalistic. It's as animalistic as you can get. Halfway through it, it's got like this black and white on the left, and it's got this infrared looking shit on the right. And I think that simple effect made it fucking fire. It's got the 3 track names on the front, throwing off that old school, like a vinyl kind of like you would buy like a thing and it would have like the cover, the names written on the front. I guess even tapes would do that shit. Maybe CDs on the back. But I'm saying on the front, like I feel like that, like, you know, single kind of feel to it. I like it. I like it a lot. The styling of it, the font choices that were done with it. And normally album covers I find kind of but I have to say it's provocative. It's like that Rage Against the Machine album cover with the monk motherfucker burning and stuff. Like it's kind of got that aesthetic to it, to that like an old timey kind of feel of like repurposing images using ghetto effects. Honestly, like there's nothing fancy here. It's almost the absence of the fanciness. It's the absence of the finesse. It adds into the animalistic nature of what's going on. Like if you had just done this album cover and made it all prim and proper and shit, it would have been kind of like whatever. But then you like think about Animal Mother, right? Like what does that mean? I don't know. I didn't ask him. Maybe I should have asked him. There's a whole track called Animal Mother. I suppose we can get to there at that point. But when I first hear the title, it makes me think the world's kind of beastly. It makes me kind of picture this experience where society is convolutedly just a series of animal mothers. It isn't anything more than that. Like it almost like feels like, in a sense, breaking the world down to the base of what everything is. Just at the end of the day, we're animal mothers. We all come from that shit, and it almost has this level of respect and reverence though mixed into it, right? Because it's not just like we all come from that, but it's like paying homage to the animal mother, almost like recognizing a deity of some kind. I like it. It's poetic. It's artsy, and artsy is definitely a way I would brand this dude. He has like an artistic vision. Definitely has an aesthetic swag. As a man with long hair, I appreciate other men with long hair in this game. That's just dope. I feel like maybe not beard brethren, but we got like similar hairstyles. You don't see it so well, but there you go. Right there, you saw that shit. All right, I'm dilly-dallying. I haven't recorded one of these in a minute. It's like kind of like nice to be back sort of feeling. And it's going to be a minute before I get back to recording these regular again. So on that note, let's get into the first track, which features a familiar name, Mr. Providence the Poet. There's like this like red piano in this music video. I think we're supposed to remember it. I think there's like a continuity element to that red piano. I don't know if I'm supposed to take more meaning from it, but you got producer dude sitting down. I think it's producer dude. I don't really know. Dude sitting down in front of a little mini red piano, and the way he does it, and he just kind of sits there, it just looks kind of fresh. And then you have Eulogy coming on through, and it's all black and white for him, and he's wearing an otherwise known hat. I don't know if I would have caught that okay was a thing if it wasn't for that hat. So there you go. Effective marketing. Good job. Either way, it's got this smooth kind of beat. I don't know, like a little bit of a tense kind of bop to it. Like it's the kind of beat where you can kind of feel like that constant kind of pulse as you're moving on. And I think the way Eulogy hits this beat is stellar. Off the jump, this is my favorite track on the project. I mean, not to say the other ones are bad, but I think this one just has this like fullness to it. Like it's got the energy, the way he hits the track has got this versatility in it, and I really, really like it. Both the verses kind of bring this like artistic flair. Everything's on theme. It's nice. Like, yo, I've been in this nightmare scenario ever since days been going by. Like in a flash, Barry Allen couldn't skate this fast. I know what Barry Allen is. I'm going to assume the pun makes sense. Bury me before the Instagram and the Twitter feeds, the whole Versace and the glitter suites. I try to tell my soul it's only natural to hate the fact that they will not look at you, but it gets to you slowly. And I feel like it's an interesting thing, right? Like the world is kind of picked up. You have all of this fashion show, dramatization, the social media, speed of the universe and shit. And let's say, I mean, I'm going to take it, dude, small town, or maybe not Toronto. Maybe he's Toronto. But just because of what he's saying here, it doesn't seem like he's interested in that, like, fast-paced kind of life. More of a throwback to, like, that slowed down, just kind of vibe with it situation, right? Like, you know, the whole, just the way he puts Versace in the glitter scene. Like, this shit's fake. This shit's overpriced. It's just dress up and pretend or whatnot, right? And it all kind of feels like almost real life's a nightmare. So you get the sense right away that he's not a happy dude. The world is kind of fucked up. He tries to, you know, rationalize shit, but at the end of the day, regardless to what you do, it creeps up on you slowly. But it's not just the words. A lot of it is the way he delivers it. It's the energy. It's like, yo, I've been in this nightmare scenario ever since days gone by. But he's got like this tone to it. I can't fucking do it. I failed. I tried. I failed. But he's got like this intensity to the way he spits these lines, like a desperation. Like it's just oozing off of the delivery. And he's got this quick, upbeat, like in the pocket flow that is really appealing. And it really just fits it perfectly on this track. Like straight up, I think this song is really stellar. So it gets to you slowly, and you hate to be lonely, but hate to be hanging out with all your peoples when it's gotten to the point when they start to look see-through. And I guess, ask dude how old he was. I like to know that when I hear shit like this. Late 20s. So what that tells me is it's got to the point where he's trying to get real with his shit. And he's getting to the point where you kind of realize that most of the people you know is full of shit. And then you kind of hang out around folks and you look around and you see the circles and the names and the peoples. And you're like, you know what? It's not so much that they're whatever. It's just that my life is going in this direction and your life is going in that direction. And it has this loneliness to it, even if you're around people. I go through this a lot in my day job where I'm around people with even common missions. Let's make that bank at work. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, what'd you do on the weekend? And that's where we veer. That's where our whole lives go in different places. So even though I have people I can talk to, I don't necessarily have people I can connect to. I feel like he's tapping into that shit. Anyway, so I ghost, pour up the sacrilege and make a toast. So ghost, get it, sacrilege. It's kind of got like spiritual bars mixed with religious bars or whatever. Make a toast. That's interesting because sacrilege, I think, is... I don't know. I'm going to move on. I kind of lost my train of thought. But I just feel like it connects, right? Like, I feel like there's a religious connotation to sacrilege. Like, that is the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So I guess drinking wine is, or make a toast, you have the wine, so it's got like a bad activity to it in sense being sacrilege in behavior. Even ghosts and the paranormal is kind of a sacrilegious point of view because you're not supposed to believe in that shit. All right, I tried. Maybe I missed it. That's okay. That's what you get here. Rambly Magoo up in this. Anyway, to my friends and family who want to see me happy, y'all got to realize I got no plan B. Now, here's the thing. As an MC, podcasting, due to my authorities working in the midst of corporate America, I connect with what he's saying here at like a personal level. And that adds a fuck ton of bias. I relate to this shit. I relate to the flow. I relate to the way he spits it. I relate to all of this shit, man. Like, to the point where, yo, why am I doing this review and shit? A, because the dude's making good music. Honestly, if you're full of shit, I'm not going to review your stuff. And if I do, you're not going to like what I have to say. But at the end of the day, I feel like what I really like about it is that I can feel it. I feel it in my soul and shit. And I don't have a plan B. I have this better work or it's bankruptcy. Like, quite literally. Like, I don't know that I'm willing to, like, it could get bad if, like, it doesn't tip the scales one day. But, yeah, that's the grind. I'm not even complaining. I am nowhere near that point. Like, to be clear, I don't want to make it sound like my financials are that drastic. I'm not thrilled with my credit card balances. Who the fuck is thrilled with the credit card balances? You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Providence the poet comes on through on the chorus, and he has this, like, I want to call it like a leaned out swag to his voice, like you would expect it from one of those dudes, but I feel like it's more just the artistic way he expresses shit, you know, like, but it kind of hits that like tone, but it's raw, it's broken, it's at like the absolute end of it. He's like, I'm chasing my soul, I'm chasing the guap, I do it with style, I do it with effortless energy. I know you remember me, I know you remember me as, and then the truth is, I do remember you, Providence the poet, I do. So I suppose, like, at a anecdotal level, like, I met dude set me up with this opportunity to perform one time back in the day. I'll never forget, dude, man. I'll never forget it. It was the most preposterous shit. It was a Black History Month thing, and I'm performing there. How the fuck do you forget that? You don't, as a white guy. I'm sorry. And then there was a rap battle situation. It was a great time for, like, my not ever fucking ever forgetting him. I will, in all history, remember him. But in the sense of the energy, I get what he's saying, man. You meet the guy, and there's something about him, this passion, this rawness that oozes off of him, this effortless energy, put it. And I have to say, 4 years later, I believe it. I've seen dude's work since. I've seen tracks he's been on. I believe it. Here's the thing. I like him doing this with Eulogy, because I'm not going to forget Eulogy either. The guy has this energy to it. Eulogy sounds like he has fun making these tracks, you know? Like, fun in a cool way. So I think together they're blessed out. Providence wasn't there for the video. Fair enough. I don't know where they're all at, but fair enough. I seen Providence on Archaic's Instagram stories, though, so I'm seeing y'all having a much better time than I am in Montreal, living in the concrete jungle. Anyway, next verse comes through. You're the same as I am. Feel more at home in insane asylums. On his shoulder, devil sitting right beside him. I don't think I can escape this island. And the way he says it all, it's all perfect. It is generic as fuck, but it's perfect. It just fits so good. Make you want to disappear like a famous pilot. That is way less generic as fuck. Like, he took in the concept is still pretty generic. But that particular bar is kind of hey, that's true. There are a couple of, like I think Amelia Earhart's the famous pilot that disappeared. Maybe I'm wrong. But the fact that you sit there and go, that makes sense, eh? That is a way to get famous. It's cool. It's a cool line. I really like that line. But for now, just chill and enjoy the silence. And then there's like a fucking scream that gets cut in. And it's like, imagine when he closes his mind. That's the kind of chaos that goes inside of his head. The art is beautiful. Really, really like it. The rest of the verse flows through. I can't really say that there's anything else here that like I want to just pinpoint and talk about. I really enjoyed it. I like when he goes in, day by day you pretend that you pay dues, but ain't shit changed. It remains the same, dude. They will never save you. Fair enough. Going on through, like I said, we've watched the people in the past go and have their situations, but everyone moves at different paces and all that other crap. I don't know what to say. I feel like I put hella work into self-growth, so I empathize with what you're saying. If you put work into your shit, you can see a lot more of a relative growth matrix towards what's good for you and not. I don't know. I feel it. I get this shit a 4.5. A lot of it's really just well done. I would absolutely bump this again. Like I said, I link the YouTube down below. If I find this on Spotify, I'm totally gonna dig it. But the first track I actually heard from this dude, even before he hit me up or anything, I'd already bumped this and I already thought it was interesting. It was MADsoundz featuring a whole squad. Alright, so we got a whole posse. Oh yeah, I actually did remember to say what I wanted to say. Oh, I forgot to say on the last track, I liked how he doubled up his voice at the end of one of the verses. It was really cool. It was well done. It was artistically delivered. It added versatility. And it's those kinds of things that make me believe that Eulogy's a dude worth following. Even if you don't necessarily feel whatever today, check out where he's going, man. I get the feeling that we're going to see some interesting shit come out of him. Like, in the big picture, just different shit. Whereas we are about to have the most throwback hip-hop, like the most generically, in the good kind of way, like a real throwback to the 90s posse cut. And I appreciate it, man. I think it's cool if you're going to be an artsy kind of dude, which I do think Eulogy is, to do that. And it took me a little bit long in my career to actually pay attention to the fact that you have to kind of go back and get that homage. And I think this track pays a lot of homage to hip hop. and that makes it really excellent. Right up at the beginning of the music video, which is I guess how I first hear this song, they're all kind of standing around this thing, and then Eulogy comes through and he like turns on this fucking tape deck, and they're all acting like it's this archaic fucking piece of machinery. And I like that. I thought it was fun. And then the video comes through, and I have to say, I once thought having swords was fun. I don't know that I would be brave enough to in my 30s, whip out a sword like that. I just don't think I would do it. But I really thought it was fresh, man. There's so much personality that Eulogy brings to the table on this. I like how also at the beginning of the music video, they make the effort to introduce you to who the fuck everybody is. Because if you would just ask me which one's illems, I'd be like, I don't fucking have any idea who the fuck illems is. Like, how am I supposed to know that? I don't know any of these guys. And that's the situation. I know they're all from Ontario, and they're just from different spots in Ontario. And if you check the music video, you can investigate each of them farther. All right, we're going to run through this. We might not go through every bar, but we're going to run through everybody. Eulogy starts us off with a hook, it's a dope hook. It's played on this sample, this MADsoundz. So he holds up a joint in the video. I think I'm going to name this joint MADsoundz, both the marijuana joint and the song joint. So I'm bringing these MC for MADsoundz. Nobody's happy on this song. It's MADsoundz. It's a cool little sad face effect they use. I wish they'd use more of those effects. That was one of the most memorable parts of that video. Also, dude lies on fucking train tracks. So I asked, was that uncomfortable? He said yes, and it was fucking hot. So the man suffered in a literal physical capacity to create the art. I'm not willing to suffer like that for a fucking music video. I'm not lying on hot fucking train tracks. I'm a city boy through and fucking through. Anyway, I'll even snitch on the sample. It's MADsoundz. That's amazing. Like, I fucking like how he did that. Like, it's really cool. I really appreciate that. It's clever. It's like paying homage. That's what I said. And then he just has like a pretty crazy fucking all over the place flow on this track. And I think I like that the most, is that you don't really know where the fuck his flow's going next, you know. Starts off kind of standard. Yo, I used to sit on the sidewalk hoping that the world would listen when I talk. Sometimes I'm asking like, why God, I ain't praying to get no Maybach, but would you please get the fuck off my cock, boy? And then it's fine. And then it just kind of changes a bit. And the next thing you know, it's my spot. Your wifey asking like, why not? So I might. And then he goes like this sound that just flows perfect instead of saying fuck. And I'm like, if you're gonna do in my opinion, one of the lamest tropes in hip hop, do it like that, or at least it has some character to it. So when a homie need to find and then like a fallback strategy, I don't know, they say it in a way where he has another like the or whatever kind of rhymes with the It's really interesting. I like how he does it. It makes it, in my opinion, 'cause I'm really not a fan of the I fucked your girl bars. Like, to me, it's like, you're gonna do that, do something with it, and he did. So fair enough. You get to a passing grade on that bar. Fallback strategies. See, we call that C'est la vie, this the anarchy. And then that's a reference to an older song he included in the lyrics he sent me. Because you think I would know that? I would not. So thanks for hooking me up. That's how you know Eulogy's a fucking professional, giving me liner notes. Thanks, man. Anyway, brought to you by Eulogy. Get it? So all together, the All Night Anarchy could both be like the onslaught of what we're getting lyrically, the general sense of it, brought to you by Eulogy, but it's also the track. So boom, just killing it with the double entendre play there. I'm not like being hyperbolic. Like, I think it's clever when people do that shit. I've started kind of doing those little nods to my older songs too. It's fucking fun. And y'all will pay the pimp when he come to collect the chips, and y'all know he'll want the interest because y'all been straight invested in your skin, in your sin, like since when you was a tiny infant. I'm not doing the flow justice there, but he just like alters and does this hard shift, and it just is nice. And it's kind of like this commentary, like, I did all this shit, but y'all invested in some crap that didn't work out. Now the pimp's gonna pimp smack you and take what's due. And then it goes into a double time flow where it's like, everyone knows that at a bottomless hell is a wedding. You motherfuckers have been told to kill every beat that I'm on because you mean it. You gotta get a hold of it, never let it go. And it's nice. It's the way he delivers it is way better than what I did, and it flows. I appreciate his verse. I think it's really like, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. Like, is it the 100% the best rap verse I ever heard? No, I'm sorry, dude. I know you're watching this. I know you're going to watch this. You told me. But does it make me go, Eulogy's an interesting dude, and I want to hear more of his music? Yeah, this is like a calling card because it's a posse cut. So all posse cuts really are is just your verse is a calling card, and this calling card's fucking good. Danny Knight does the chorus, and here's the thing. I want to like the chorus more than I do. I even checked with my lady friend Bonnie, just for like a quick, like, do you feel like it's a little flat? And she said, a little flat, yeah. I feel like Danny could have belted that shit and it would have done a lot of justice there. I feel like everyone else just has like 8 times the emotion or energy or within their lane. And Danny's doing this like singing thing, but he's not like committing to singing and he's not committing to rapping. It's just kind of in between. And I think he should have committed to one or the other. There ain't nothing wrong with the lines. They're absolutely nothing worth like commenting on. I have nothing to really say about the lyrics. They're fine. I ain't never had shit. I never had shit. Now I'm riding with your bitch to these, whatever. Like I said, not my favorite set of lyrics to like play with. Everywhere I go, they never seem to know till they see the video. Then it's mad. That's kind of fine, but well, I mean, I guess in this case, I saw the video and I'm kind of commenting in this way. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm not trying to be a hater, Danny. I think you have flow. I think the way you were doing with it is really cool. I question just the delivery choices. Because let's be clear, I know nobody wants to be the guy that's like getting this crit. I get it. If it was me, I'd be like, fuck this guy too. I feel you. I'm hoping that you said that to me. I deserve it. But straight up, I just think it's a matter of the delivery. Not the math of the flow. Like the actual boppiness to it. The vibe of it is right. It's just how it came off to me. And maybe everyone else on the internet absolutely disagrees with me. It's all about subjective opinion. Anyway, I don't want to be a hater. I'm sorry if that offended you, dog. I would love to hear more of your shit still. Anyway, we can talk. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Give me the real reels on this review. You can tell me how bad it is. I know how fucking bad it is. I'm rusty. It's been a minute. Uncle Dre's voice just is fucking interesting. Everything about the look of him. He just sounds older, sounds calmer, sounds like he's been through some shit. Sounds like he's tired of your shit. Sounds like he's too cool for your shit. And actually sounds like he's gonna fuck your girl. Like, he sounds like he already fucked your girl. And he didn't have to tell you. He just did it. And he fucked your mom at the same time. He had like a threesome with your girl and your mom. That's the voice I heard coming off of Uncle Dre there. It's fucking grimy. And he's like, when he goes to say the lone wolf is out of place and it wasn't for those bones, they say he left the scene without a trace. Fair enough. I like his kind of like, I'm a lone rider. I ain't got the label. You know, the solitary life that made him more dangerous. A lonely old man with a hidden dark side. Smart guy. Don't get out of hand like a bar fight. I will never forget the way dude throws up his fist in that, because I could tell, Mans has been in some bar fights. And that was what that was. That was more like him going into like some real shit than some looking cool shit, because it didn't look that cool. Like, I think he wanted it. It looked like he could beat the shit out of me, though. So I'll give it to him. That shit counts for something. In case you hear it, there is a cat trying to escape, but I tried to give her opportunities to, and she fucking refused to leave the room when I wanted to open the door. So now she's going to wait till I'm done this track. But one of my favorite fucking tracks from him after he does his like pseudo maybe we sell bars or whatever is I hunt alone, but I'll get with a pack to kill a track. That is like, I love that bar. I don't know, I'd put that on a fucking shirt. That is a great fucking line. That's what every rapper fucking means to say when they say I work alone. I usually work alone, but I'm not against working with others. Like everyone else. Like guys like Russ who pretend they work alone are just lying to my fucking face. You might be independent, you didn't do it by yourself. I'm sorry. Somebody at Teesprings or whatever fucking helped you with your shirts. I'm assuming he has a distributor of somewhere, some employee on his payroll. Anyway, and then I like when he goes, and I'm just waiting to hear something that we haven't heard, and it ain't good enough for you to simply not be whack. Anyone can find somebody dope and copy that. Well, Uncle Dre, I tried what you were recommending to come up with some shit. Like, I really have, man. Like, I say some weird crap. Like, I wrote a whole song about corporate jargon. Like, a CTA is a call to action, a catchy phrase for an interaction to increase that click-through rate. That CTR measures how many move to the next page. I mean, par. Metrics like that are, anyway, you guys can go either try if you give a shit, but the whole point is nobody wants to fucking listen to that, unfortunately. They'd rather listen to you kind of spit in some solitary rider shit that I know I've heard this verse, like the essence of this, on 1,000 times before. but he does it well. So I like Uncle Dre's verse. It's a highlight of this track for me. But I just wanted to point out that it's really bad fucking marketing to try to be that like whack. You'll end up with a lot less views, as my career is going to tell you. Still, I like that verse. I thought I brought it right back up. Then Danny Knight's chorus comes through. It's fine. And then I had the most strange experience with the illems and Skinny Chuckler. Illems, my friend, if you watch this, I can tell how serious you take your shit. Like, I know how serious because that look in your eyes in that music video told me what I needed to know. You are a serious fucking a la Max, pinpoint, crafted that, probably spit the verse 800 times before the studio type dude. I do not believe you if you told me you tried to one take that. Fuck that. You're too perfect. I love it. I love the commitment, dog. It's so fucking intense. And I like the style of it. By day I'm God playing dice with the universe, but it's odd cause by night I'm Lucifer. Who do you prefer? And what do you infer from my statement that humans have ruined Earth and overdue for the replacement since birth of no one else different? It's that kind of shit. That like lyrical miracle fucking slaughter you with the flow. Like he should be swinging the sword with that fucking flow. And it's really strong. I like literally no time to learn about Pythagorean theorems in middle school. Too busy selling weed out the bathroom. Fuck out of here. I'm going to have to tangent here. That's a bullshit lyric, illems. I'm going to break it. You hit a pet peeve on me, so we are tangenting. I don't even know how long it's going to take. See, to sell weed, you need to have a basic fundamental understanding of algebra, all right? Because if you don't have a base level of algebra, there's no way you can really work out the fucking price points and to give out change, okay? So really, what's the difference between the algebraic equation of fucking selling weed and Pythagoras? Not a lot. But the reason people use Pythagoras is because it's a fucking easy way to explain algebra to people using shapes. You need a fucking triangle to visualize it. Like, here's how algebra works. Here's how an algebraic expression works. So the fact of the matter is, you might not think you do it, but pretty much everything to do with coding and probabilities and like everything to do with fucking drug dealing builds on the algebraic fucking shit related to what you're doing there. So the issue is if you need to know the history of shit to understand shit, then you kind of need to use your Pythagorean theorems in middle school. Because the truth is, the mathematical shit that backs the music you're spitting on comes from that Pythagorean theorem, motherfucker. Show some respect to the algebra that allowed you to be an effective drug dealer. Okay, like what kind of a stupid lyric is that? I'm sorry. Maybe that was the whole point of it, and maybe that whole rant was nothing. But I feel like people try to take shots at the Pythagorean theorem way too often when, like I said, there is no algebra without it, and like you frankly couldn't sell weed without the same kind of complex math skills that you're supposed to be learning, that the Pythagorean theorem is supposed to be teaching you. It's like, what is your point? Are you trying to shit on algebra for real? Anyway, that's fine. If you can't read between the lines, you're pitiful. Don't be dimly lit. Oh well. I guess the truth's written in riddles. Don't be illiterate. Missed the point, maybe. I don't know. I don't think Illem's verse really did what he really wanted to do with it. It was real. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point. I feel like I'm being a bit of a hater thing, but I feel like it's just coming through. Like I'm on my 40 fucking second book this year, so I'm definitely not illiterate. I'm definitely trying to break down the language of this. I don't know what I'm missing. It just seems like he's a menace that did some bad shit. And then don't do the bidding of politicians who don't give a shit. Don't let him sneak into you crossing your names on Schindler's List. Like, I'm a Jew. Do you understand what Schindler's List is? What does that mean? Like, maybe you're a Jew too. If you're a Jew, Illems, fair enough. But I don't really understand the context of that line. Schindler's List is a list of names that were like people that were saved in the Holocaust. So what? Crossing out names would be what in this context? Like killing Jews? Or what? Or don't do the bidding of politicians who don't give a shit? I mean, this is that like fucking Hobson level faux intellect. This is partly why the song lost points. Because I'm sorry, Illem's concepts are like faux intelligent. That's faux philosophy. It's like the kind of not... Lyrically, dude's delivery is amazing. He's got one of the tightest flows on the track. But he's going so hard to floss intellectual. But like, I'm an intellectual. That's like amateur level intellectualism. Don't do that. Don't be so cocky with it if you're not going to say shit like that. Like, don't do the biddings of politicians who don't give a shit is vapid. That's like saying wash your hands after you take a shit. That's the level of complexity and applicability you bring into that. There's no breakdown. There's no intelligence. There's no like actual thing. Like everyone else's verse like had like a cohesive point here. All I know is that illems has this world that he's looking in within himself that I guess the rules of everyone else's world don't, like, I don't know, dude. I can't really explain it. I'm sorry, illems. I bet your shit's fire. Like, for real, dude, I bet most of your shit's fire. But most of your shit's kind of like full of faux intellectual stuff. Like, and we can debate this, man. I'm happy to go on camera and debate the finesses of anything you said here. I would love to hear how you don't do the bidding of politicians. So I'm not supposed to pay my taxes? I'm not supposed to vote and participate in the legal system? I'm not supposed to follow the laws? That's doing the bidding of politicians. Like, what are you actually saying with that lyric? I'm pretty literate. I'm analyzing this at a very critical level. Like, this is, I guess, but you also said, because you have your kappa, the truth's written in riddles, so if I can't read the things, I'm pitiful and dimly lit. So I'll just take my L here. Take the L, move right on to the skinny Chuckler, who's the fucking literal opposite of illems. Like, illems feels like my heart rate goes up of the stress that he exudes in the track. Again, I'm not trying to be a hater. I am telling you how I felt listening to this track. I mean, skinny Chuckler smoked a half an ounce and came out there with zero stress in the world. And I love that verse. I love that attitude and tone in it. I'm sorry. I feel like illems and fucking Danny Knight are going to hate me. That's all right. I can live with your hate. It's not meant to be hate, though. I really am trying to give you honest feedbacks and criticisms on and whatnot, because that's what I do over here. You can go trash my music, dog. Make whatever React videos. You can point out all the flaws. I'll take that L, too. I deserve it. You have that right. I won't even say shit, even if you're mean to me. Anyway, skinny Chuckler, because everything's the same thing with no change, just a broken man with some mental plans and some bad habits piling up like damaged pallets. I'm like, that's relatable shit again. There's no faux intellectualism there. Life's a constant monotonous grind of fucking trying to make it through, and then you get this damaged pallet stacking up, representing your bad habits and shit to like fucking cope with life. Yeah, that sounds like human. Overcrowded my mind, like, damn it, man, I've fucking had it. I'm fed up with all the bullshit. It's all the time. I'm like, yeah, everyone can relate to that. I feel like it's kind of a good reflection, especially if you're trying to rise up and trying to do some shit that's whatever. Especially if you're stuck being, I guess, puppets to politicians within a corporate system, because at the end of the day, free healthcare is worth the 40% in taxes I lose or whatever. Free healthcare. I live in Quebec. They fucking charge me taxes in my healthcare. That I don't know if you guys have that. Do you Ontario folks have like hidden healthcare taxes built into your end of your income taxes like we do in Quebec? I don't care enough to Google, but if somebody watching can just throw that in the comments, that'd be fresh. Anyway, I try to speak my mind, but people flip and trip or act up like I crossed some sort of line. I mean, you want to have a conversation about the line of distancy, dog? I'm happy to break it down. You definitely crossed the line if you're pissing people off, and it's a clear line to me. I'm happy to explain it to you one day, just not right now. They I'm too unrefined, like ore deposits in the mine. That's a cop-out. I'm sorry, dog. Nah, you're unrefined, more like children who don't actually give a shit, and you're older than that, so people don't like it because you're supposed to give a shit. I mean that like teenager, like, I mean... past age of 25, you're just supposed to go, oh, maybe I should filter my thoughts so I don't offend people. Do I want to do that all the time? No. Should I do that on the internet? Yes. Being on Facebook is like standing in a park with children. You should filter your damn thoughts. Being in person, you should filter your thoughts. Like, I'm sorry, but freedom of speech doesn't exist in our country. There's like anti-hate laws. There's all sorts of stuff saying being unrefined is okay, but there are consequences to that shit. Now, you know what grinds my gears is people who are unrefined, who piss people off, who just go, okay then, you do you. That's fine. I don't mind. Because that's not fine. You just made verses saying you don't fucking like it. And the truth is, that philosophical you do you, I do me shit doesn't work. There's just too many diametrically opposed fucking concepts. Life isn't built in a way. Because if you're doing, look, I'm not even accusing Skinny Chuckler here. These are just pet peeves of mine. They just happen to tap into it. So when I hear what I call YouTube white guy arguments, I'm gonna have to like feel what I gotta do. I'm a white guy on YouTube. I don't like that side, but I gotta rep the other side of it. That's just how it is. Because it's not like that, man. That's not how it works. The world doesn't work like that. You're part of community and society. You're trying to like build up fan bases and communities and shit. Like you're part of an ecosystem. So the idea that like we don't all have to compromise or whatever, because that you do you, I do me fine has limits, and we both know it. Are you okay with somebody raping your mother if that's how they do them? Of course you're not. So fuck that line. It's just abstract. It's a weird concept that's basically like really saying, let me smoke my pot, let me fucking be a degenerate. That's how I interpret it. I don't think you're a degenerate, dude. I think you sell yourself that way in the music video, but it's just kind of like, let me be sleazy. I mean, yeah, you can be sleazy. You can't be sleazy without consequences. I'm sorry. You're just, nobody above the age of 25 gets to live in a world without consequences. If you're 24, same shit. I don't fucking know. Anyway, otherwise I like shit, man. I'm not even trying to hate on the verse. I really do like it. Anyway, so you can watch from far behind while I'm at the top of the mountain looking up at clouds filling up in the sky, making me wonder, oh, why didn't I try a little harder when I was younger? I could have been further than I am. Now I'm stuck up in this whole dam with no other plan, like I'm riding on the stream till I hit the promised land, like I got my eggs in one basket and I won't stop till I make it to the end. I like that whole part. Totally redeems the verse for me. Because it's kind of like the self-awareness. Almost like justifying that part I criticized a little bit too harshly now, going, that was him in his youth, and now he's like evolved and ruminating on it a little bit, like maybe I should have done things differently and played my cards and I'd used my time more correctly, or maybe, I don't know the circumstances of man's life. I do know that he's interesting, and he has like 6 flows and styles in that verse, and it's really fun to listen to. And I'm sorry if I'm like going in on the content of a bunch of men I don't know personally, but that's, I guess, the thing. This is the only snapshot of all of you, all 5 of you that are not Eulogy. That's the snapshot of my impression of you, your personality, your artistry, what you represent. And this is my reaction to that. So I hope we can all still be friends after, because, that's how I am. Anyway, then you get, like, in the music video, them kind of, like, doing this you mad, bro thing. It's kind of fun. I'm all right with it. Very cocky, fits the track. Chorus comes through, but they blend the two parts. So you've got, like, Mr. Knight's part of singing, but then it cuts through with the very beginning part. Like, I'm going to name this thing MADsoundz. I like it. I like the way they end it. Again, showcasing the overall artistry of the track. I think it's good. I think it's a good posse cut. It's all right. I give it a 4.25. It's not my favorite song, but I do think it's a good song. I think that I had grievances with things that maybe are a little nitpicky, because, that's just kind of who I am. Anyway, one left on this thing, and that's called the title track, actually. It's Animal Mother. Yeah, I spoke way too long on the last track. My intention was to not make this video this fucking long. This is probably why nobody subscribes to this damn channel, because nobody wants to watch these reviews that outshadow the length of the tracks, unfortunately. For me, I'm my chosen format. I like this song, though. The beat comes through, and it's got a swag to it. The music video's got this eeriness. He looks like a sleazy guy with his leopard skin. He just looks so sleazy. He looks so grimy. You look like a dude I would not want a daughter I don't yet have to hang out with in the video. I don't mean that in a bad way. I actually think it fits the aesthetic of this animal creature with the hyenas and shit fucking blowing through perfectly. But I just had to get that off my chest. I find the delivery of this, I couldn't understand all the words in the first part. Like, idolize the wild, I got my whole life. I was fed lies as a child. I had no idea that he said cold nights without the lyrics. Lied in bed and cried, not wishing I would die. But he's doing this, like, high-pitched, like, it's kind of sound to it, and I like it. I love the aesthetic. It comes off animalistic and fucking harsh, but it was a little hard to make a couple of the words, so the enunciation did take a hit there. But a hush fell when the devil looked straight into my eye with the crushing weight from a realization that I'm alive. It came from jailed up inside the mind, caged animal, break out at given time, but there's no escape when your life's a lie. Suicide or a 9 to 5, bunch of laughing, hyenas laughing out in Africa, dying to find peace in the arms of the animal mother. So that's a bunch of interesting shit. So we're gonna have to unpack it a little bit. You basically kind of wake up to the world and realize life's bullshit. Like, here's the thing, man. I know that suicide or a 9 to 5 choice. I often make some bullshit statements like, if this whole side hustle thing doesn't work out or isn't in my life, I don't see a point to life, because the 9 to 5 would not satisfy me. And I totally empathize how, if you go to work at this vapid endless job forever, that the idea of not living is more appealing. It's not a choice I advocate, but it's understandable because, yeah, guess what? Corporate America, it's that fucking vapid in my eyes. So much of it is. Sometimes it's meaningful, but I don't work for meaningful the way I would like to. And then, it just kind of boils it down to we're all like these hyenas or whatever, just animalistic, trying to find peace, killing ourselves through our habits and shit. What's really cool is that the chorus has this whatever sounds, but then he kind of says mama, oma, it, madre, mater, mutter, my. I didn't catch it at first, now I actually do. It's just saying mother in a bunch of languages, and I thought that was really fucking cool, and he repeats it. Then there's the second verse. They say pray for the weak. I tell them pray on the weak. Angels will weep, and any fucking day of the week we could even get it popping with parades in the streets, and I would like that. And so I guess, I don't know, he's kind of flipping the idea of like praying for weak folk and saying, nah, instead, why don't we go at them fucking proper, pray on them? Flipping the idea of pray to like the animalistic version. Brings up some gun bars, which are fine, but I like how he follows it with amazing what a few days in a cage will do. Well, rage is a gift when available. You gotta flip it, turn into a saber tooth, and wear lace to him. That's how I slayed a booth. You more like Sailor Moon, and I'm about. First of all, Sailor Moon could fuck you up, all right? Like, Sailor Moon will fuck both of us up. You think we can fuck with the Sailor Moon peoples? Are you nuts, dog? I would be Sailor Moon over a saber tooth any day of the week. Okay, straight up. I'm saying it on wax. I would be Sailor Moon, and as Sailor Moon would fuck up any saber tooth any day of the week. I'm Sailor Moon in the booth. That's what I'm saying now. And I'm about to wreck. I wear a flood chain around my neck, so when I bust on the mic, you'll feel like sex. I like that line. That's animalistic. That's why I love when they play my shit. Oh, yes. And then it kind of flows a bit. He does the chorus, and then it just flips the fuck up to every creature on this earth dies alone, and it's fucking crazy. And all of a sudden, in the video, like, animals are eating shit, and it gets fucking crazy, and it hypes up, and it's real fucking strong. And it comes through. And I feel like, again, this whole thing kind of taps into that same, like, sentiment of just kind of like animalism. The world's kind of fucked up, and you're kind of pushed towards this. And then it ends with this one line, I'm an animal mother, and it cuts off. It doesn't say fucker, but you want him to, but he doesn't, so that sucks. Anyway, that's kind of what this track brings in, and it definitely has more of that artistic feel. I'm sorry if this was kind of short. I feel like I went way too long on the last one, like I said. It's still a cool song. I think I closed out the project proper. It's a 4.35 on 5, and I do think for the 3 tracks, you should check it out. Let me know which one of the 3 is your favorite. I gave this little EP a 4.366. I think it showcases his style, like his versatility pretty well. I definitely had my feelings about, I guess, a couple of the ideas that expressed and tangentially went off on my tangents. But at the end of the day, I think everybody on this project sounds proper. And overall, I think I'm left with this positive feeling of this project. Like, it was completely worth listening to. 3 little tunes. Check it out. All the videos will be down below in the description, like I said. On that note, I don't want to waste your time anymore. I don't got anything else I can really add to this. So, yeah, that's it. I haven't ended one of these in a minute. I forgot the speech. So let me know in the comments what you thought. Subscribe to the channel if you felt it. Hit that like button. Let me know in the comments who else around random towns in Ontario you feel is worth your time for me to, like, come through and do a review on. Let me know what you want to see in the interview with MADsoundz if you have questions for him. And all that being said, I really did enjoy this project. Special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Pratt, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black Hurricane, Linda Williams, who dope support what we do. Big love for them. If you feel that, you can check out the link in description. Just also see that I make music. You can follow me, support me, all that good stuff. Anyway, I'm fucking hungry. My animalistic side's kicking in. So live long and prosper, everyone.